So first of all, I know there are some 1,700 plus people in here who would love to know you a little bit better. So can you give us a bit of your background?
Absolutely. So, thank you, Jim. Firstly, a big hello to everyone in the room. Some of you I know, many of you I don't. As Jim mentioned, I've worked with accountants for almost 20 years. I've been with Intuit for almost 15 years, starting in the professional tax business. The last 3 years, I've been in the UK, leading our UK expansion and then our French business as well. So it's been very, very exciting. And it just hammers home just the importance of accountants in absolutely everything that we do.
Very good. So while you were in the UK and Europe, you got to work with a lot of accountants. When they're rich, is there anything that you bring back from that experience? Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's interesting. I mean, the first thing is, there's so many similarities when you go around the world and you talk to accountants. So many things fall into two buckets. It's about saving me time as an accountant, save me time, drive efficiency. And then the second thing is help me grow my practice. You know, many accountants are not, by their own nature, marketing experts, and so growing their practice doesn't come naturally. So those are the two big things. Now, what's interesting is if I look at the UK and France, there are a couple of noticeable differences. In the UK, Jim mentioned wholesale billing earlier. I couldn't see how many people raised their hand from backstage. But certainly I know that in the US, about half of you, or maybe less, have adopted wholesale billing. In the UK, 90% of all accountants have adopted wholesale billing. So clearly we've done a better job messaging the benefits in the UK, and that's something I want the teams to work together to help us unpack that in the US. You know, secondly, if I think about France, France is a market where we just launched about 6 months ago, and we have very little brand presence. So very few accountants know of QuickBooks in France, and so there's a massive amount of education. So we've started something that we call Change Academy. We've invited 50 firms of accountants who are on that journey, moving from desktop to the cloud, and it's a 12-month program where we meet with them every month. We give them training support, marketing support, consultancy, and we literally hold their hands on that journey from where they are today to where they want to be in 12 months' time. Now, in the US, many of you guys are a little bit further along, in truth, than the French market as a whole is, but it'll be interesting to see if that works. Then perhaps there's things there that we, again, can bring to other markets, US and all the other markets as well. So I think one of the big benefits we have now of being a global company is we can test things in one place and then bring the benefits of those learnings to all the other markets.
Very good. I think that's very exciting. Having spent time with you in the UK and Europe, it's some things are very similar, some things are different, and so it's good to see you bring that experience back here to the US. So Rich, like everything in Intuit, we want to improve where we've been. We made a ton of progress, as you have seen, and there are still opportunities to go faster and do better. Can you tell us a little bit about some of your priorities, your focus areas going forward?
Yeah, I can. I mean, first of all, Jim, obviously, you've done a tremendous job and left everything in very good shape. So we have, a tremendous product, a tremendous following. In terms of where I focus, just in the first 6 weeks in the role with the team, certainly a couple of priorities have bubbled up that everyone here will see a lot of progress on in the coming months. One of them Jim already briefly mentioned, which is what we call matchmaking. I'm not sure if you caught Jim talking about how we had over 1 million small businesses looking for an accountant. We connected hundreds of thousands, but we didn't connect the same number that were looking. And I think that's a big opportunity. So the team currently is redesigning from the ground up a brand new experience, and it's almost going to feel a little bit like LinkedIn. And so for those of you that have a LinkedIn profile and an account, you have to invest a little bit in having a good profile. But once you do, you can log in at any time, and you'll be told how many people have viewed you, perhaps how many leads do you have. And so in this experience, again, if you invest a little bit of time, we'll help you with the profile. Then we'll tell you, you've had X number of leads in the last 30 days. You've had X number of clients come to you in the last 30 days, and we know that because you've added them as a supplier. And we'll help you with your profile. So we believe that we're uniquely positioned because of the number of small businesses that come to us and join the QBO franchise to help connect all of them with an accountant. That's going to be going live here in just 2 or 3 months, and that's going to be a global launch, so everyone will benefit from that at the same time. The other one that stands out, Jim, you also briefly alluded to, is online tax. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so excited now to partner with Jim, because Jim essentially will have all of the resources on the professional tax side of the business. I will have the QBOA and the Pro Advisor program and that side of the business. And we both passionately believe that so many firms of accountants would benefit if that was in one place as part of a practice management suite. And so I'm excited to work with you, Jim, and your teams on that and just bring that to life over the coming months.
That's absolutely right. Rich, I can't wait to work on that too. And you know, for folks, this is a little bit of inside baseball sometimes, but at the end of the day, really not going anyplace, leaving it in absolutely capable hands with Rich, and very much looking forward, as you saw today, in integrating all of our online businesses together. So it's a little bit of a baton passing between us, and we want to make it clear because folks have asked the question. But at Intro, we don't typically pass batons. Instead, what we do is we pass the sock. And so to show us that you are truly